huge announcement has come out from Thorpe Park stating that one of their oldest, most beloved rides will be closing forever. And I can't lie, we all sort of expected it to happen. Alongside that, two of the biggest theme parks in the UK, in typical UK theme park fashion, have announced that they won't be opening certain rides at the start of the season. And Universal Studios have finally unveiled and tested one of the coolest looking roller coaster trains of all time over in the US. And it's driving people crazy. It's been a mad one because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to another episode of the world's most consistent series that happens every week, never on a specific day. This past week in theme parks, where we discuss everything that's happened in the past week in theme park news, obviously. And like I said, it has been a crazy one, so be sure you watch till the end so you don't miss any of this insane news. And be sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. It will be greatly appreciated. Now then, of course, last week, if you did see that episode, which if you didn't, go and catch up. I decided against doing the quick fire news segment that we normally do to get through all the news so quickly. But today, it's got to come back, doesn't it? Let's quick fire through all this news. Starting in the USA, as you can see, I got swept by the wind into shots because it is very windy today. And we've been swept over to some parks that had some news last week that have continued to progress this week, such as the fact Family Kingdom that's getting that brand new RMC Raptor. As much as it looked like a generic sort of standard layout for that Raptor, it seems to actually have a little bit of modification in there, as we've now seen from an animated POV. Carowinds had lots of people excited with an announcement coming soon, stating on March the 9th, tomorrow is going to be very eventful, winky face. And then they went and announced just their event lineup for the year. I guess they were just meaning that literally. Busch Gardens Tampa Bay removed the paid lockers from Iron Gwazi, which was a very welcome change until it was realised that it was actually just an error, and now they're back to being an upcharge again. Fantastic stuff, Busch Gardens. Walt Disney World have basically completed the brand new Magic Kingdom Castle repaint, which is looking so much better than it was before. And over in Hollywood Studios, another park, they've done a lot smaller of a paint job on the Rock and Roller Coaster car outside the entrance. So the new Muppets overlay, and yeah, it's just red and a bit greeny, whatever colour that is. Looking good so far, along with the new unveiled flooring over at Big Thunder Mountain. God, some of the news stories I cover on here, they're just absolutely fantastic. Sticking in Florida as well, a continuation of a previous story once again. Stardust races the dueling Mack launch coaster at Epic Universe. That was supposed to be opening very soon after some maintenance. That's now been pushed back again for the fourth time, now saying that they're going to open it on the 5th of April. How many more times do you think they're going to delay that reopening? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd say another, hopefully, 0. The teasers have continued for Six Flags Fiesta Texas's brand new 2027 coaster, stating follow the tracks to a new thrilling adventure with an AI image underneath. Oh, these parks literally have graphic design teams. Just get them to make something. It's so lazy. Meanwhile, Six Flags Great Adventure has announced a brand new boardwalk area for this year with this image right here, which I don't think is AI, but knowing them, it could be. It's a reimagined area that will open in late spring 2026 with new ride experiences, refreshed dining, and additional enhancements. And it looks like it's going to be a really nice area of the park. Shame there's going to be a spooky phantom spire towering over it soon. Slowing down a bit in the quickfire segment, let's discuss something that Six Flags have also done this past week. They have now officially finally announced that 7 different theme parks under their reign will be being sold to EPR Properties and Enchanted Parks. Which, to be fair, we've been talking about this for so long, so it's actually good to see it in writing now. But we now know exactly what parks will be included, and that means Michigan's Adventure, Schlitterbahn Water Park. Are we in Germany or something now? Six Flags Great Escape, La Ronde, St. Louis, Valley Fair, and Worlds of Fun. All of them will be sold to Enchanted Parks, which could be a good thing in the long run, but at the same time, I don't really know how to feel about this. I think the reaction online is very mixed, and they did say that all these parks have been sold off for around $330 million, which is crazy when you think that that is way below the budget of some roller coasters and rides at Disney and Universal. Getting 7 theme parks for less than 1 roller coaster is crazy. But we shall see if that Six Flags and Cedar Fair chain does start to become a little bit more rocky and rattly, much like the brand new Barracuda strike coming to another chain, SeaWorld. Specifically the one in Texas, or San Antonio as it's called. This brand new B&M family inverted roller coaster has finally opened to the public, and let me just show you a small clip of a POV of this thing. How on earth is it making that much of a noise, that much of a rattle when it is just opened? B&M. Just what is happening? Should have got a Vekoma, and I never thought I'd say that in a million years. A new roller coaster elsewhere in Texas has also just started testing and technically opened to riders for one day. That being Palindrome in COTALand, which is right next to COTA, the Circuit of the Americas. Interesting name, COTALand being next to COTA. But this Gerstlauer shuttle boomerang type coaster looks really fun, and we've now actually seen people going on it. And the reviews seem to say so far that it is an enjoyable ride, a little bit short obviously, but some of those elements are really snappy and quite exhilarating, adrenaline pumping. And to be fair, I really do like the look of it. There are a few transitions on it that look a little bit questionable, but for the most part it looks like a fun ride. As does the brand new roller coaster coming to Hollywood Studios. No, that's Disney. Universal Studios Hollywood. Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. So many Hollywoods I just said, because Universal have finally released a first look properly at those trains, or cars, I guess they're called, because each individual vehicle on the train is a car from the Fast and Furious franchise. And my god, it looks so cool when it's drifting around the track. There's a single rider line and express, and then you've obviously got it testing going around. Oh, it just looks incredible. But yeah, just the way that traverses its whole layout and how that's looking testing and everything, I can't wait to ride it one day. It's going to drive me up the wall until I can finally ride it. But speaking of driving, how about we drive to our next location? Which I don't think you can do from America, but we're back in Europe. By starting in Paris, we have Disneyland Paris that has finally released an advert for the brand new Adventure World, and it's a really nice looking advert. It starts with like Remy from Ratatouille and shows a few rides, and then it goes to this nice panoramic of the whole park, and they've completely removed and forgotten about Cars Road Trip. Please let that mean that they're getting rid of that for good. Walibi Rhone Alps, also in France, have announced their brand new additions for 2026, and they look really good. And that is supposedly going to be opening on the 4th of April. Parc Bagatelle are busy building their brand new ride as well, known as North Storm, and it's basically been fully installed at the moment. I mean, with the storm that's outside my house currently, I don't know if that'd be standing very long, because at this rate, even I'm going to get blown away. Oh, for God's sake, yeah, I've fallen out the window. Looking good either way. Bellewaerde have also revealed their brand new Canadian area that's opening on the 4th of April as well. Why is everything happening on the 4th? With the brand new Seesaw Swing, Timber Trail, and the Canadian Burger. Not a Canadian burger restaurant or anything like that. The Canadian burger. But that looks very interesting. We love a good wild swing. Efteling in the Netherlands have been very busy as well, seemingly testing brand new boats on their boat ride De Vliegende Hollander, which now have 16 seats as opposed to 14 seats. I just love how parks over in Europe are making little investments like that to just up the capacity by 2 people per boat. Shows how dedicated they are. Along with the fact they are testing their brand new drop towers, which I'm not going to try to pronounce again because I got it horrendously wrong last time. They've been very busy testing as well, and they actually look like a lot of fun. I mean, if you've ever been on this type of ride before, as much as it is just a family drop tower and it sort of shoots you up a little bit, drops you, they do actually pack a little bit of a punch. And once again, they've got 3 there for capacity. They're going to be really well themed. That is going to be a great little ride. But now we drop down back into the United Kingdom, where probably once again we've had the busiest week of all, because not only has Blackgang Chine over on the Isle of Wight relocate their drop tower as a part of essential maintenance works, and they're literally going to be moving it not far from where it was originally, and the ride currently named Evolution will return rethemed, reimagined, and more exciting than ever. Evolution is evolving. Not only has Lightwater Valley also changed their logo of the park. Oh, is that AI? Oh, I don't know what it is with theme parks wanting to use AI for everything. It just looks so generic and lazy. I mean, apparently they have actually put a comment up saying it's not their final design and AI was not used. Well, also at the minute, I can see pigs flying out my window. Now, I am excited for Lightwater Valley's future. I just really hope they decide to change this logo. because it's not it. But after all of them as well, our main 3 theme parks here in the UK have some big changes, announcements, and even repaints and closures, starting with Alton Towers, that has technically opened for the 2026 season because they had various buyout days at the weekend before it opens this weekend, which I'm very excited to attend. But from those days, it seemed like a bit of a rocky start where a lot of rides were closed, but apparently it got better as the events went on. But right before those days began, at the front of the park, everyone could finally see the colour that they had repainted the Corkscrew in, originally being a purple and gold type colour. It's now bright yellow. I don't actually dislike it. I think it looks quite good. It's going to take a bit of getting used to, but I do like the fact it's the nostalgia of that yellow Corkscrew when it was alive. God damn, it's a person now. And I do think with an extra lick of paint, because that's clearly not finished yet, they will have that looking very, very nice. Ready for the new season, unlike some of the rides in the park, because let me list them off to you. The monorail and Skyride are both closed for essential maintenance. The Runaway Mine Train is also closed for essential maintenance. And Battle Galleons and Congo River Rapids have both been announced to open in May. Sadly, this is just how Merlin theme parks are operating lately, and how most theme parks in the UK are operating as well, because Blackpool Pleasure Beach also announced the day before they opened. For that 2026 season, the Grand National will be opening in June, and Valhalla won't be opening till the 20th of May. There is also the fact that Dora's Well Voyage won't open until the 28th of March, which is probably the most devastating one. But yeah, it's just not great to see all of these rides at UK theme parks shutting and sort of going down for maintenance when they're supposed to be open because they've had a winter maintenance season for a reason. And it is very frustrating, but what can we do? The amount of budget cuts and stuff happening at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if this is all just to save money, and hopefully they can sort their stuff out very, very soon. Although Blackpool did release a very exciting video, that being the POV of Aviktas, this huge intimate gyro swing. And I did a video a while back basically stating this will be one of the best rides in the UK, and I think this POV just proves my point more. It looks absolutely insane. Like, look how far up it swings next to the big one and looking out over Infusion and everything. It's just mental. I would show you the whole thing, but you can go and watch that on Blackpool's actual social media platforms, because if I showed you the whole thing, well, we're not in the quickfire segment anymore, so I could. But no, go and see it for yourself. But yeah, so many closed rides at all of our UK theme parks. And yet another one we can add to that list over at Thorpe Park, because instead of just closing one for the start of the season or maybe a few months, they've gone and announced that this ride will be closing forever from this point onwards. And it's quite an old and beloved ride, which is quite sad. And that is, of course, Rumba Rapids, located right next to Nemesis Inferno and behind Stealth, their old Water River Rapids ride in the corner of the park. And yeah, it won't be returning this season or in any season in the future. Can't lie, I used to love going on Rumba Rapids. It never really had much of a queue, so you could sort of lap it and go around a few times, and you did get a little bit wet on occasion. And also the soundtrack of that ride, I hope you're hearing it in the background right now. Oh, it was just incredible until they decided to change it. Why, Thorpe? But if you're watching this on its release date, this past week in theme parks usually happens on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday, maybe a Friday, maybe a Monday. They usually happen in the middle of the week, right? And the only reason I've delayed this episode to later in the week is purely because I'd heard rumors there was going to be a Rumba Rapids closing announcement at some point in this week. And the rumors were correct. Rumba Rapids is no more. To commemorate the life of Rumba Rapids, Thorpe Park released a video where they sort of went through the history and then stated at the end, while we don't have plans to share just yet on what's next, we're always reviewing our lineup of world-class rides and attractions to make sure Thorpe Park remains the UK's most thrilling theme park. All very interesting. What could be coming in its place? I know there's a bit of land behind Swarm and a bit of land now behind Stealth. Why don't you link it up and make a big Intamin multi-launch or a Mac Extreme spinner? That'd be nice. But no, we of course do not know what's going to go in its place. And with how they left their last water ride they removed to build a new coaster, Loggers Leap, they left that standing for almost 10 years and then opened Hyperia. So give it till 2036 and we might have a new coaster by then. But what do you guys think will come to the place of Rumba Rapids? Actually, don't answer that, because if you have Planet Coaster 2, there might be a different way to answer that question in a lot more of a creative way very, very soon. AKA, I might be doing a Planet Coaster competition of a Rumba Rapids replacement. More on that coming very soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of This Past Week in Theme Parks. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. And share in the comments what you actually do think will replace Rumba, and also what you think of all the news today. Goodbye.